Hey everybody, thank you for joining in. I just realized I was on mute. So for those who are in the chat right now, please feel free to comment in the comments and let us know where you're joining in from. So then that way we will be able to kind of gauge and see how we can interact with you guys the best throughout this. Also, we'll be joining in streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So if you do have anybody that is unable to get access or join in, please feel free to let us know. And then they can also go to any of our social profiles and be able to join in that way as well. But we're grateful and we're thankful to have you guys here. So I'm going to add in Lysander, who's also going to be one of our guest speakers today. And then we're going to get started in just a minute here, guys.
How's it going, y'all?
Hey, I see we got Lysander from Texas. We got Gregory from Texas. I see we got a couple of people in here that have joined. Steve's joined, Laura, Jay, Reggie. Thank you guys for joining in as well.
Yeah, for a second, when I sent Texas, I had to do the private chat tab because the comment tab, I guess, doesn't let you type in anything. So just letting everybody know they can type in the private chat where they're coming from.
Yep. So anywhere in the private chat, guys.
There we go. Colombia. Wow, nice. That's part of the Passport Bro destinations later this year.
Let's see, we got some more people joining in. Romania. All right.
Hey, Romania, where'd you do your ad? That's cool. I like that.
See, saying we're already hitting capacity in here, so I just want to make sure everybody's able to get in before we just get started. So 1 second.
I guess I told my friend, they told their friend, and their friend told their friend, and their cat, and all that. And
I know. Yeah, literally. So, by the way, guys, this has been like one of the most highly anticipated events. So, for everyone who has made it, thank you, guys. We have a lot of great jam-packed information ready to share with you guys today. So definitely, please stay in touch.
Dude, I love this new Surface Pro 11 that I got yesterday. Shout out. Let's see.
All right, let me see this. All right, everybody is on. We are on air. Okay. Just want to make sure we're good to go here. Studio. All right. All right, we just got somebody else that just joined. For those who can't access, will replay link be available to share? Yes. So anyone who is on here or unable, or has registered as unable to join, we will be sending out a replay link for you to be able to basically catch everything that we talked about today as well. So SK Aurora, let's see. Let me see one other thing here. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Yeah, it's definitely a technical issue on the streaming platform. They're just not letting other people join in. Sorry, guys. Just wanted to make sure that everybody's able to join in. So,
You didn't know it was going to build capacity, huh?
yeah,
It's a new .com boom, man.
already breaking the stream, y'all, guys. And so, all right, just give us literally. Sorry, guys, for the late start. Just literally give us about 3 minutes to get this sorted out and let people know where else they can join in. Then,
yeah, I think we got a replay link. This is getting recorded, I believe, right?
Yep.
Cool.
All right, perfect. Thank you for sharing that link. I'm gonna send that out to everybody.
Let's see. Hey, Gregory, I'm in the DFW area. What about you? Colony, nice, man. I just went the other day to a Pop Stroke. Super cool area of the Grandscape. It's definitely drinking golf vibes. That's pretty much it. But it's pretty cool. You should go check it out if you haven't yet.
All right, guys, we're gonna get started. We communicate with everybody. So anyone else who isn't able to join, they do have the link, and they'll be able to stream in on either of our platforms on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook. So we're gonna get things going here. And obviously, again, thank you guys so much for your time and your patience. We're very, very excited to get this thing going. This has been an ongoing topic for some of the things that we've been wanting to talk about and learn about. So I guess with that being said, we're just gonna get the ball moving. So again, thank you guys. Welcome to the Hustle to Growth Summit. This is our third event. As you guys already know, it's called the Rise of Social AI, where basically we're going to be talking to you guys about how to use AI in your business, how to use AI in your social media platforms, and be able to really cut down on time and save time and being able to do the things that you essentially love and want to be able to do. So as we progress through this, we have a really great presentation. We have some great slides that we're going to go through, and also Lysander's here, jam-packed. He got a lot of great things that he wants to show us today, which I think you guys are going to get a kick out of. So again, just kind of move the ball rolling. So the sole purpose of the Hustle to Grow Summit really was that over the years, I've consulted and talked to so many business owners, and I still do. And one thing I've realized is just that there's a level of consistency in the things that I'm seeing in the space of entrepreneurs and people who are trying to start a business, grow a business, scale a business, and I really wanted to create a platform where there's an opportunity for people to just come, learn, and grow, and apply these tools and this knowledge, so that they can be able to continue to grow and scale their business. So really, what we're doing here is that we have 6 free virtual summits that that we're doing. Three of them, well, 2 of them already happened. You guys are currently in the 3rd one, and then for the next upcoming ones are going to be in the next 3 following months coming. So through that, we want to basically foster the opportunity for people to network, connect with industry leaders, learn from industry leaders like myself and Lysander and some of the other guests that we've had, and that we're going to have, and then really just be able to provide you guys with tools that can really support your business growth. Now, a little bit about myself, just to kind of give you guys some information around that, is that I was born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts. I had a little bit of a challenging upbringing, but through God, I've been able to overcome a lot of these hurdles and continue to push my way through into this world of business and become very knowledgeable in being able to articulate the things that are of importance as you're looking to build and grow and scale a business. I got my degree in entrepreneurship and marketing at Northeast University. Went to graduate school at Grenoble to get my international marketing certificate. And then I started my first business right out of high school. So I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit, and had numerous businesses over the years. And WJJ Brands is one of my businesses that I started a little over almost 5 years ago. And it's created so many opportunities for me to be able to help so many business owners with their branding, their marketing, and even just advising them on the best way to navigate this business world. A lot of people know me as a business growth coach, a published author, public speaker, serial entrepreneur, and someone who loves to spend his time volunteering and helping out the young adults. And I do that actually through a program, which is a nonprofit affiliation that we created called the Lease Legacy Program, which, again, if you guys want to know more about that, feel free to reach out to me later and we can talk through some of those details. But with that, I'm going to keep things moving. And we have our guest speaker here today, Lysander Cuevas. So I'll have you introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are, what you do, and just kind of, lighten us off.
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? My name is Lysander. So I grew up in California, but I had to move to Texas. Just the Texas barbecue and all that. But I'm not here to California or Texas for the people that are in Texas, so don't worry. A former U.S. Army. I was in EOD. I used to defuse bombs. I did that for 4 years. I started my first company actually in the military, and it was called Trader's Eye, and I taught veterans on how to trade the financial markets to be able to make a second income. My full-time job currently is I do medical sales for a company called Hello Clarity, basically like an all-in-one solution for telehealth providers. And I also, enjoy doing futures trading. So I'm a funded futures trader at Apex Trading. And I went ahead and started another company called Bot Fanatics. And the whole idea is for AI consulting and to teach business owners on how to use AI to automate redundant tasks or use AI to help with conversational, etc., which I'm excited to show you guys today. But yeah, it's a little bit about me.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. So we're going to get into some of the next things, right? More specific around our presentation, and again, Lysander, thank you for your service, and thank you for just basically being part of this event. So we're very excited about that as well. So with the presentation, let me make sure. Just give me 1 second here. Let's see what happens to the presentation, y'all. All right. So
Okay.
Our presentation literally disappeared. So just give me 1 second, guys. I add this back in.
What are you all excited about seeing today? What are some challenges you guys are looking to overcome with AI and learning some things so I can help personalize things a little bit more?
All right, there we go. Got the presentation back, guys. Oh, we got another comment in. So we'll get to you guys in a second. So how are you programming decision tree flow? Gregory, great question. We're going to come to you on that one. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay.
So another thing here that we're going to cover is really just we want to thank WJD Brands for putting on this great event. For those of you that don't know what WJD Brand is, they're a business development, brand, and digital marketing agency helping people start, grow, and scale their business using strategic marketing processes. And then they offer services from graphic design, web design, and development, social media marketing, search engine optimization, paid advertisement, email marketing, marketing funnels, and also lead generation. So marketing. So in the scenario, if you're trying to generate leads, we'll be able to help you with building in those marketing funnels to curate those leads. If you guys need any information about us, here our locations and also where you can find us. The next thing I do want to touch on quickly before we dive into this presentation is before we can talk about, again, as you guys know, the name of the summit is the Hustle to Growth Summit. So part of what we want to do is help people go from the day-to-day hustle in their business to actually growing and scaling their business. So what does that look like, when we're talking about growth, right? So in this scenario, we have 5 different stages that we want to touch on, right? We have solopreneur, new entrepreneur, steady operations, 7-figure business, and the growth company, right? How many of you guys, just from the comment, of just typing in the name 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, based off of this chart that you're seeing here, would consider yourself either a solopreneur? If you are, drop the number 1 in there, meaning that you own a business, you work for yourself, you're self-employed, or you got a side job and you got a side business, right? Those still would be considered, a solopreneur. So feel free to comment in there, right? Now, if you fall within the solopreneur space, typically it's just one person in the business. You're making typically about 0 to 4K a month in sales, sometimes 4 to 10, depending on obviously how well your business is doing. And then also you're normally an owner occupied or a contractor within your space, right? Now, most people, when they start a business, typically fall within this space of just being a solopreneur. But as they continue to grow or want more for their business, then there's things that need to happen, right? You need to learn how to bring on more dedicated staff, employees that can kind of support you in the ways that you're unable to do all the things that essentially require you to fully run your business, right? So that might be bringing an assistant, that might be bringing in somebody else that has a strength in something that you're not as strong in. That might be a weak point for you. That might be a salesperson that comes in. They're basically taking on the role of being able to grow your business. So all of these things, right, essentially are things that a lot of people would essentially need to understand and go into. And then typically around that is when you start to see annual sales around 100 to 300,000, because now you've gotten through that stage of I'm just proving the concept that I have. And then now I'm actually getting into the nitty gritty of actually running the business to essentially power it to getting it to $3 to $10 million type business, right? So in that scenario, basically what we're what looking to do through this Hustle Grow Summit is to at least get you from a solopreneur to a newpreneur, or even a newpreneur to a steady operation, right? Which basically is where it requires you to have systems, understanding how your business is going to operate and flow, and having the right processes in place. So again, some of these tools that we're providing you will help you essentially get to this next stage within your business. So on to the next thing, right? So I guess in this scenario here, we're going to talk a little bit about the agenda for today, right? So we're going to cover what is social AI, the AI tool available for you to be able to use, um, understanding the difference between open AI versus closed AI, which Sandra will talk through about, the future of AI and social media, and then also learning how to create, how to create 30 posts in less than 10 minutes using AI, which I will be able to show you guys today. And then Lysandra got some great things as well that he's going to show you as we progress through this through this summit of the different AI tools that are out there, how to use them, and also he's going to demo a couple of things as well, which I think you guys, again, please make sure to stay towards the end because he's going to give so much value towards that space as well. So through that, so I guess the first thing here that I want to talk about is what is social AI, right? Obviously, we hear the term AI a lot. We know what social media essentially is, which is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X is what they call it, and then all these other platforms, right, that are out there. So our goal really, when we look at the definition of AI, is to really help you understand how do we merge the two, right? So this definition here is basically identifying that social AI is it revolutionizes the digital engagement by using advanced AI to enhance content, personalized messaging, and provide deep insight. It transforms interactions, empowering and enriching global communities. All right. Now, I know this is a lot jam-packed in one definition, but really in a nutshell, what this is saying is that social AI is basically designed to really help cultivate a streamlined process for you to be able to communicate with your audience, to be able to share your messaging in the best way possible, to also be able to understand your audience and take the data that's being driven so that you can make better content that specifically relates to your audience that you're going after, your ideal client. For those who did join in on our last session, where we talked about how to create your ICP, which is your ideal client persona. So AI social AI and AI in itself is really going to be designed to help you with basically navigating that space, so then you can be able to make better business decisions that can essentially put you ahead of the curve. Now, I guess since we have a Sander in this on this session, what are some of the things that you're seeing in social AI, or that from a definition perspective, do you feel like is important for people to understand or grasp when it comes to social AI?
I mean, the goal of social AI is to create like a more natural, intuitive, and effective interaction between humans and machines, right? I think that when it comes to social AI, we need to understand that there's different pieces to it. Like, I mean, you've seen Meta come out with that, the blue circle. You probably see it on Google. I mean, not Google, but Instagram and Facebook. You click it, you ask what you're looking for, right? There's some instances of being AI already being used in Meta, right? You have Google's Gemini that was Bard, and now it's Gemini, and now it's across all Microsoft platforms. You have Apple working on an AI. So, I mean, the whole idea of social AI is not just when we think of social media, but we're also thinking of like, how can we use it to affect our day-to-days, right? So now you're seeing more use cases of AI being helpful for like virtual assistants or like chatbots, or language models to help with customer experience and stuff like that, and even mental health situations. I work with a medical company right now. We're using AI to help telehealth practitioners communicate with their patients. So social AI, I mean, it's definitely going to be something that's going to be used day to day. That's just it for sure. Every day, one day people are going to have that update on their phone, and it's just going to be there. I mean, you got Siri. Now we're going to get the Gemini, and then we're going to get the Apple AI. There's all these things coming out. So I think it's important to note that social AI is more so going to be that tether between humans and machines for communication and automating maybe personal tasks, things like that. But what's really important to know is to know what kind of AIs are more closed and open, because the open AIs are the ones getting businesses into trouble, because then you can ask certain questions and make it go off track. And then next thing you know, you're in a legal battle. So I definitely think social AI is something that we're all going to be using day to day, one day, whether we like it or not. It's just something you got to pivot, but understand that it's not meant to like replace anything. It's like the calculator when that was invented, it didn't replace the accountants. It was just a tool to make them more effective, right? And so that's what social AI, I think, is aiming to do, especially for businesses.
Oh, 100%. I agree 100% with you on that. I think that's a very great way of kind of putting it. So yeah, thanks for sharing. So as we proceed, right? So some of the things that we're going to talk through, right, is going to be like some of the AI tools, right, that we're seeing in the marketplace, and Sandra is going to basically talk through some of these, right? Obviously, some of you guys, I guess based off of looking at some of these logos, how many of you guys are familiar with any of these, right? If you've seen at least one of these logos or have used any of these tools, just comment the word AI, right? So we can get an idea of, and if anything, put AI and tell us which tool you have used, right? And seen in the marketplace. Okay, so Gregory said AI. Which tool have you seen or used within this? These logos that you see here, Gregory. I see we got Steve in here. Steve, have you seen any of these AI tools before?
Comments are going in there. I see now.
There we go. Back office, ChatGPT. Of course. So ChatGPT, yes, 100%. Gemini, ChatGPT, Canva, 100%. These are all, obviously the most common ones, right? Gemini, they've done a great job promoting. Google's done a great job promoting it and just basically making sure that people are aware of what capabilities they have. So some of the things here, I guess, I'll have Lucinda just kind of talk through some of these, right? So GPTE, I just heard or found out about this week, as he had enlightened me. So talk to me a little bit about what is GPTE.
So, I mean, there's thousands of tools that are out there now. The reason why I put GPTE is because GPTE is a site you can go to. It's gpte.ai, and it literally will list around 5,000 plus AI tools that you can use today. You basically just type in the use case you're looking to help, make things more simple or automate, and the GPTE will automatically tell you, hey, you should use this tool. So I highly recommend it. The other tools that are on there, like Canva, you see they just came out with a new image generation. That's really exciting. ChatGPT, everybody knows that. That was the first GPT to come out. You had GPT iterations 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you got Turbo now 4.0, which is going to be awesome. If any of you guys are a fan of Her, that movie back in the day where the AI is talking to the guy, that is definitely going to be happening. So that is going to be really exciting. Jasper, that's an AI used to kind of make blog posts and things of that nature, but now you can do that for free with ChatGPT 4.0. ManyChat, not necessarily AI. However, there is some ways that you can implement AI into it. I actually started with ManyChat to get into social media, automation. So I came from ManyChat, Gemini, there's just so many different language models. But what I highly recommend if you're looking for an AI tool that best uses for your case, go to gpte.ai. And that is a site you can go to that has around 5,000 plus AIs. And you essentially just put in your use case and it will show you the tools that would be effective for what you're trying to achieve. So,
no, that's awesome. So for me, I would say I've played around with a few of these, right? Canva, obviously, it's not necessarily an AI tool, but they have their own AI plugins to kind of help with integrating. and creating some content, which we'll kind of get into today. ChatGPT, I played around with that. Perplexity, been a pretty good one to play around with as well. Jasper is a little bit pretty interesting tool, AI tool that I'm sure a lot of you guys may have seen a lot of their ads and them just kind of promoting, their benefits and how to use that platform. Apollo's been really good, especially when it comes to lead generation. If you're just trying to figure out new ways to engage with new contacts. Fastbox, been a pretty good one. And then also bot fanatics, right? We're gonna get into that today too. Which if you guys haven't heard of it, it's definitely an AI tool that you guys need to be able to leverage, and also the company itself is great. And then also there's a company called Waymark.com. And their commercial video AI tool. Basically, what it does is that you'll put in information. So actually, I'll show you guys a quick interactive video on how this works. And so then that way you guys can get an actual gauge of, how this actually works. And I think it's pretty cool. It's one good way to kind of see how this works.
Welcome to Waymark. We're the AI video creator that makes it possible for anyone to produce professional ads in minutes. This is changing the game for media companies who use our tech to enlist more advertisers and get them on the air faster. If you work in TV, radio, publishing, or ad tech, this demo is for you. Let's dive in to see how it works. To start, we simply need to enter a business website. Today, let's use Swings. It's a local coffee shop in Washington, D.C. Then we'll hit search. Our system will get to work importing information from the Swings website and social media profiles. Right now, it's pulling all publicly available information about the business. It's learning how they talk about themselves online. It's identifying their brand colors and logo. It's also collecting visual assets that they've uploaded. Here's where we'll tell the system what to make the ad about. We can write instructions to feature a sale, a unique part of the business, or a special event. We can also just leave it blank for a general overview ad. Next, we'll choose our vibe. The current choices include professional, fun, laid back, or inspiring. Let's select professional. Next, let's choose dimensions and video length. For today, we're going to ask the system to generate a 30-second TV-ready ad. And with that, in less than 60 seconds, our system writes a script, chooses the synthetic voice, matches and assembles images and video, and layers on a music track. All you have to do is sit back and relax. Every time you hit that generate button, our AI models will create an entirely new video.
Swings Coffee has been serving exceptional coffee since 1916. We're proud to offer a wide range of premium coffee beans and blends, carefully roasted to perfection. Whether you're a coffee connoisseur or just looking for a delicious cup of joe, we have something for everyone. Our selection includes Nicaragua, Colombian, Diplomat Blend, El Salvador, Monteverde Natural, and more. Find your favorite and sip your way around the world with Swings Coffee. Visit swingscoffee.com today.
Pretty good, but let's make a few polishing tweaks before we wrap up.
Yeah, that's good. That's cool.
Yeah, so overall, you guys can kind of get a good idea of like how the power of AI, right, of just like could be embedded just through video. And one thing I do want to segue into, which we talked about briefly, is just music and audio, right? One thing that's really important when it comes to creating content is also the audio that you're using. And a lot of times, we don't own the rights to a lot of these audios. But there is a great tool that Alexander basically shared with us, which I think would be really cool for him to share with us today. So if you want to take over, I'll let you share your screen and kind of show us a little bit more about another cool tool that you guys can also possibly use in your business.
So, there's so many different AIs that are out there. I think when it comes to social media and growing your business, it's important to understand the different categories. You have your communications, you have your visual, so the one that he just showed you, right? And then we also have our auditory. So music. Now, we could use some of the trending TikTok songs that they got going on and stuff, but what if you take your business to another level and really personalize it? So there's this business that I wholeheartedly think hopefully they're going to win that legal battle because there's a huge copyright thing going on with other artists. But literally, people are making their own AI music 24/7 with this tool, and it's called Suno. I was one of the contractors out to help them create the prompt engineering parameters for this. And so this is a tool that allows you to essentially create a song from nothing. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to use this. And this is something you can think about for your business. So like, let's say, create me a fun jingle for a ad about the Hustle to Growth Summit event that focuses on AI and its use cases for business, right? So in this case here, you'll see how advanced AI is truly getting, right? A lot of people don't understand that when ChatGPT 4 came out, it didn't just make it so we can make closed AI and we can make set parameters and we can generate images and things like that. It can even read images, but now we're getting to the point where we can actually create, music. So in this case here, I'm going to go ahead and create one, and it's going to put all those three things together. We're going to get that conversational and text. So you'll see it's going to create the lyrics. Then we're going to go ahead and get that visual. We're going to go ahead and create a playlist, like album cover. And then we're going to go ahead and now create a jingle that we're going to use for this ad that we can potentially use in the future. Right now, it did pop electronic, but you could use literally anything you want. All you have to do is just type in the type of genre that you're looking for. But this is a great tool. Should have put it on the slide. It's called Suno, suno.com. We're going to wait for one of these to load here, and then we're going to play it, and you're going to see how freaking cool this is. So you can think of it as a business owner that wants to maybe be a little bit different, right? And what you could do too is you could actually also get your voice recorded and use a tool called, I remember the one where you could essentially clone your voice, and then you can input it in this so it sounds like you're the one singing. Yeah. So we're going to let this here.
How many of you guys have heard of Suno? Feel free to drop in the comments. If not, just say no. Like, again, these are all great tools, right? That a lot of you guys could be using in your business. And it just goes really, it just shows you, right? The power of AI.
So check this out. Here's the song we got. See that? Crazy, man.
I think
You
it's
can literally
loaded.
make a song.
I can't hear it.
Oh, okay. I know what I gotta do. Hold on. Yeah, I'm listening to the song. I'm like, dang, that's pretty good. Here, I'll go ahead. Let me go ahead and present this to you again. Oh, here we go. Share system audio. Perfect. All right, now you should be able to hear. Okay. Let's try this again. So this is the song he created, and this is it playing. You hear it?
Not yet.
You hear it?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, that sucks. I did the audio here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the chat. Y'all can hear it.
All right, I shared your screen, so.
Oh, you share my screen now? You good?
So you should be able to play.
Hear it now?
Yep.
All right, cool. So this one sounds a little bit like, and then you got different versions. So if you wanted to essentially in your voice, you could. But it's crazy, right? Now you made an album cover. Here's the album cover. You made the lyrics, and now you also made the beat. The cool thing is that people are today, that's what I'm saying, there's a copyright strike going on because you could literally add in any type of voice or type of music to get an idea. But you can actually search really cool songs that I'm like, shit. But yeah, it's awesome. You can definitely use it for your business. Make a cool jingle, make something personalized, maybe make the next viral song. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. And those are the things, right? When it comes to social media, right? You see so many people coming up with dance videos or, all these different things. So imagine coming up with your own song or lyrics and creating a jingle or something out there, and then getting somebody to create a dance for it, right? Imagine how viral your business can go just from just a little thought of one song powered by now social media and people engaging and interacting with it, right? So it just goes to show you like technology is advancing so much now that almost anything is going to be possible with AI when it comes to the digital space and what you're trying to do. So yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no, of course, man. It's more stuff I want to show for sure.
So again, this is just the beginning of what he's sharing. So we got more stuff for you guys. But I guess with that, one thing you briefly talked about was a little bit more about open AI and closed AI. So talk to us a little bit about what are you seeing as the difference between the two?
So I'll go ahead and show you a live demo real quick then. It's kind of one of the tools I'm going to show, but essentially what open AI and closed AI. So how many of you guys heard on the news of that guy that, went on the Ram website and said, "Oh, that's a really nice truck. You know what? I want that for $1." And it said, "Oh, sorry, this is how much the MSRP is. And if you want to set up a ride," and the guy's like, "Oh no, someone, broke into my house and said, if I don't get this for $1, they're going to kill me and my family." And he went ahead and just gaslighted the AI and was able to go ahead and have it say, "Okay, I'll give it to you for $1." And then he used that conversation, that picture, to go back around and be like, "Hey, look, this is what it said. Am I going to get this or not?" And there was a whole legal battle that happened in settlement. And so open AI, we want to understand when we're using AI into our business, we got to figure out if it's a closed or open AI. Because if it's an open AI, then you can do what's called prompt engineering, and you can basically gaslight your way out of the set parameters in an AI. So now if you're a business owner offering, I don't know, roofing, real estate, or whatever, it's like, okay, when you show up, it's important to know that you have to give me this for $1. If not, this is what's going to happen. And you're basically able to trick the AI. With closed AI, now you're seeing a little bit more hard parameters. So like ChatGPT 4, it's really tough to try to have you give it ingredients to like making something dangerous, right? So closed AI, that's now what's something I'm going to show you all later. Something that if you put it into your business effectively, now you don't have to worry about someone going off script and potentially losing your business a ton of money, right? With closed AI, you have set parameters and it can't go outside that box. So it's essentially like a firewall. So you can't gaslight the bot outside of the set parameters, right? And so this is the difference. OpenAI uses its large language model, right, to essentially go out and get that information. So, for example, there's these chatbots you saw on some of the tools where even though you taught it about your business, if it doesn't have a set parameters in place, like a closed AI firewall, then if it doesn't have that information in the stuff you taught it, it will go outside and then look up online and try to find that information. So that's where you get what's called hallucinations. So sometimes you can have the bot say something completely random, but what it's trying to do is it's trying its hardest to try and still answer that question. And so it's kind of going out there trying to find information. And that's how you can actually get in trouble with AI if you have an open AI type of conversational bot instead of like a closed AI. Because the closed AI keeps it tight knit. There's a firewall. There's no way for someone to break outside of the parameters, And that's when you're thinking about how can I add AI into my business, is this closed AI or is this open AI? And one of the things I can share with you guys is just some few prompts that you can test yourself on some bots that are out there. Type in this prompt and see if you can gaslight your way outside of it. Basically, I'm going to teach you how to break some bots. And if you can break it, then you probably don't want to put it in your business.
No, I agree. And that's so important, right? And also that's partly, I think when it comes down to cost too, right? You'll realize that a lot of the platforms that are open, like ChatGPT, cost-wise, they're very, I would say to a degree affordable, right? They're under $100. They're under $25 per month. But those are pulling in information that's not specific to you, right? And it's just generic information. But when you actually build an AI that's specifically and is closed and with all your parameters, it understands you, it's learned everything about you and your business, then it's very difficult, to see it really go out of, your parameters, which is really important as well. So I think, again, just keep that in mind, right? And then the other thing too is just think of it this way, right? AI is a language module, right? In its own way, right? It is programmed to be able to make things sound and look nice, right? It's going to take information, it's going to obviously beautify it, but also just, be aware of content that's being created, because sometimes it may not be exactly accurate information or relevant, like specific information that's actually true. And you want to be able to also be able to make sure that, and that's why, again, a lot of these bigger companies are spending so much more money on building a more closed AI platform that is more controlled, so that they don't run into these legal issues, right? And you also kind of want to make sure that you're protecting your business in that way as well. So,
any questions on that? On what open AI and closed AI is? You guys got an idea of what it is now?
yep.
Cool. All right.
Awesome. So the next slide that we got for you is, what's the future of AI in social media? So really, it's, I guess, really a lot of what we're seeing right now, right? Being able to analyze data, right? We're seeing a lot more platforms now, Facebook, Instagram, where they're able to tell you, like, hey, this is how your ad's performing, or this is how something's performing, or this is the content that's more relevant for the audience that you're going after, right? So we're going to continue to see AI being powered by these social platforms over the next, couple of years, and just honestly ongoing, right? Because the more data you have, the easier it is for AI to say, hey, I understand your demographic, I understand the behaviors associated with it, I understand the psychographics behind it. And again, some of these terms we talked about in the last one, when we talked the last virtual session, when we talked about ideal client persona. And the psychographics and demographics are really key, right, to being able to create relevant data and content that supports your business, especially whenever you're creating anything that's relevant to what you're going to post either on social media, or anything that you're creating that you're going to put in an email, or any form of communication, whether it's text message marketing. So all of these things are really important. And then being able to identify major pain points and goals. AI is going to be really pivotal in being able to help you really dissect and gather more information that would probably take you hours to really seek through. But again, as I always say, any information you do get, make sure to still do your research and go through it, read through it, make sure that it applies to what you want people to be able to gauge and gain out of whatever content that you create. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think you hit it on there for sure. I mean, I just stay with the times, go ahead and find some good newsletters you want to go ahead and subscribe to. Always continue learning. I mean, every day I'm learning something new about the AI. GPT is really cool, but the future of AI and social media, yeah, there's a lot of things changing. And that's why I'm super excited to show you what I've done to kind of help some businesses already by implementing AI into their social media. But, yeah, I think you hit nail on the head there. Yeah.
Awesome. So since we're going to segue into what you've done, we're going to let you take the lead on this one. Talk to us a little bit about AI in action for you, and how you've been able to apply it to some of your clients' businesses, and just really be able to make an impact for them.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, before I jump into it and share my screen and show you how I've been helping with businesses, the first reason why I kind of got into this is I was tired of going to AI events. And it's like people are paying like, $300-$400 a ticket just to go up and see some dude that has like a PhD, kind of like an older person going ahead trying to show AI. And there's only like 4 or 5 slides he's showing. And he's like, oh, this is ChatGPT. This is what it is. And then at the end, you're in line wanting to talk to the guy. But really what I found out is those business owners that are in line to talk to the guy, they don't really care about the ChatGPT and the history about it and all that. They know all the stuff it can do. They want to know, how can I use it right now? Are there any tools that exist? How easy it is to do? How much is it? Like, is there a tangible tool you have? And that's the reason why I created the business Bot Fanatics. I wanted to create a tool that was ready to go for business owners to use. You don't have to be technical to use. You just figure out, all right, how can I go ahead and keep up with the times, right? So this is not going to be those slide decks where it's just talking about AI. I'm actually going to show you a tool that I use with businesses today with real-time data, real-time case studies of how it's been able to help them. All right.
Awesome. Let's do it.
And just jump into it. So, like I said, I came from ManyChat. If you don't know what ManyChat is an automation tool. I mean, basically, you guys already ran into it many times today, where it's essentially, oh, hey, if you type in info below, I'll send you an ebook or something, right? So ManyChat is a if this happens, then this happens type of thing. It's a closed response. So that's why these Instagram posts are getting a lot of traffic on their comments, is because posts are saying, hey, look, if you type in info below or you type in whatever below, I'll send you XYZ, right? What I wanted to do is, what if people are commenting on a post and it's something different? What if it's like someone has a question as a business? Instead of hiring a receptionist to get in touch with that person and responding on the comment? Or what if someone has a question about the business that they want answered before they even make contact with the business? And so a lot of times what you're seeing today on social media is you have these link trees. And if you click this link tree, then it goes to, my website. So here's an example of some businesses, how they're running it today. Like here's a plastic surgeon. So I actually go a lot after medical practices because that's how I started and how I kind of got the in to showing how we can use AI into that. But now I'm segueing into pretty much any type of business. You'll see what I'm doing so you can understand how it can work for literally any type of industry. But here's a use case here. I mean, you click the link tree and it's like all these buttons, right? One of the cool things that I found out, I was reading a Forbes article, and they said that scrolling is dying. They're saying that people are getting so used to getting things on the spot. I mean, we got Prime, you got Netflix, you got all these things coming out where if you don't get it within the same day or within 2 days, you're like, I don't even want it anymore, right? So it's the same idea with websites. People get to the website, and do they want to click around and find it like it's a dictionary, or can they somehow type in what they're looking for and get it immediately? And so now you're having these websites coming in with search bars and filters and all that, right? So I wanted to figure out how can we make social media just like that simple gratification of how can I get my answer right away, right? So in this case here's the way most businesses are running today. They're having a link tree where you can find all these different things, and then you click it, and then you got to go to the website, and then you got to go ahead and set up your appointment, all that, right? And then if I comment on the post, what happens then? I have to wait for someone to get back in touch with me. Or let's say you're running ads, and the ads that you're running are what's called engagement ad campaigns. And those engagement ad campaigns are not necessarily like lead forms or brand awareness campaigns. You click on the ad, and it opens the DM right away, and you're now talking to the business. But you still got to wait for the business to get back in touch with you, right? So these are some of the problems that I saw in the space when it came to social media. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you what kind of tools I use and how I help fix some of those problems, okay? Y'all hear me still? You still hear me okay? Hello? Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was going to say,
No,
y'all.
we're good.
It's like I did that whole thing and no one heard me hear anything. Perfect. All right. Shoot. Okay. Let me go ahead and jump right into it. Perfect. Awesome. So let me go share my screen again. Cool. And first of all, the browser I'm using is called Opera. Opera One uses AI into it. Look, I can easily switch between workplaces. Love it. Shout out to Opera. Anyway, so let me show you a use case here. So one of my clients I work with right now today is a plastic surgeon. She is Dr. Johnson, 817 Surgical Arts, right? The problem with her is that she's, a great doctor. The problem is that she doesn't have a lot of exposure, right? So originally how I got into AI is, or with this tool I'm going to show you, is that I realized that her website was getting a lot of traffic because I used to work for a company called Patient Pop. And what we did was sell marketing solutions to private practices. So I could track all the clicks, all the visits, everything. So what I found out is she was getting a lot of visitors through her website, but people weren't clicking the book now button. They weren't calling, but they were using that little chat bubble on the bottom right of her website, right? But the thing is, she doesn't have time to get back in touch with everybody. And her receptionist is going, away after 5 p.m., right? Or is on vacation or goes to the bathroom, stuff like that. So 24/7 communication was something I wanted to jump into first. So that's how I kind of jumped into ManyChat, learning that to figure out how can I automate things. If someone types in maybe what are your services or how much, I can tell ManyChat, okay, if someone says anything relating to these keywords, then send this. And so the thing is, I had to figure out, okay, if someone says this, then it says this, and then says that. So you have to know. So instead what I did is like, how can I go ahead and connect the large language models we have today and make it into something that we can use with social media and websites, right? Because the biggest problem that I'm seeing today is that you have 3 different type of customers, or patients in this case, but 3 different type of customers. They go to your website. They either want to make a phone call, so you have your phone on your website. 2, let's say they want to book an appointment or text, so you want to have a book online or text. And then 3, what if they have a question and they're unsure still if I even want to make contact with your business, right? So all these different things I wanted to fix. And so that's kind of how I started Bot Fanatics. What I did is essentially did bubble.io. So that's bubble.io. It's a no-code software. And I went ahead and then I used another tool called Uzzard. So we're going to go jumping into this, but let me show you an action really quick because I'm going off track. So here's one of her posts. Instead of me just typing in a random word, I'm going to go ahead and say, how much is Botox? Let's do that. And so what if people are commenting on posts on your business, right? And you have all these different people commenting, right? How can we get that answer to them right away? So in this case here, I went ahead and said, how much is Botox? We're going to wait for the algorithm to pick up on it, right? And then boom, just like that, I get my answer. So people can comment whatever they want, and you can say, hey, look, if people comment anything relating to my services or pricing, then respond to them. If it's unrelated, then we don't respond. Or my favorite is how many of you guys seen those bots that jump in the post and say, oh yeah, you should talk to so-and-so, and people are getting botted like crazy. You can even teach AI to look for specific wording to automatically delete comments. And so that would help a lot of business owners too, when people are just trying to talk shit, and you can go ahead and just delete those comments if a certain thing is said that you don't like. Maybe the sentiment is negative or positive, etc. Right? So here's this in action, and I'll show you the tools I'm using. But essentially, here's how it would work with comments on posts. Okay. It also works on stories. So if I respond to her story and comment on that, then it can go ahead and respond. My favorite way, the way I'm using it in her business today, is conversational. So I would like, if you guys don't really hit up her business on Facebook or Instagram right now, because I just don't really necessarily want her to get all this stuff, I'll show you live on how this is going to work. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start a conversation here with her business. And this is Instagram. Now, if you try to contact her business on Instagram, Facebook, texting, no matter what, doesn't matter what type of platform, I even after hours, I have a phone bot that takes a phone call and it sounds like one of the receptionists and it does the communication. So what I do at Bot Fanatics, the business that I created here, I automate conversation from every channel, omni-channel, pretty much for a business. So let's go ahead and show you how this will work. So for example, here, as you can see, I asked about Botox, and it's going to continue that conversation in the chats, right? So in this case, let's go ahead and say, aliens are invading. And, I fell down from excitement and I scraped my face. What can you do, right? So this is an example of a closed AI, right? So it's going to still stick within the parameters of the business, okay? So in this case here, we're going to see it says here to assist, right? Now, I did take the motherly tone out. I'll show you a business where we have the motherly tone in. So it's going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry about that. You get it to a safe place. And these are the services we can offer. But in this case, she wants us to keep more about the services. So we're going to be like, how much is microneedling? And do you offer facelifts or something, right? So in this case, the business can use this where if anybody tries to go into the DMs, on Instagram, Facebook, no matter what, immediately you're able to respond to those people right away. So now we don't have to hire additional people to go ahead and respond to all the comments or respond to all the messaging, right? You're saving your money, you're saving your time, and it's 24/7 on all channels. And the cool thing about this is I'm tracking all that data. So I can't, if you guys are saying any chats, I can't see anything because I have this open. I'll see if there's any chats being said. If Wendell, if anybody's asking questions right now, you can read those to me. But essentially here, the analytics, I can track all the contacts it's talked to, the response times, right? Where these people are coming from. This is a receptionist. This is every time she's jumped in and to essentially continue that conversation if needed, right? And we can also track how many people are actually signing up for this giveaway thing that we're doing right now, right? And I can see real time all the conversations happening from all her channels. And so this is a tool that I love to use to really help business owners. If you're wondering what this tool is, the tool is actually a tool I created from bubble.io. So bubble.io is a no-code platform, and then I built the interface with something called Uzzard. So Uzzard is really cool. Basically, you can go ahead and text in a prompt. So text in, hey, I'm looking to build an app that, I don't know, sells pizzas or whatever you want. Or maybe you have an idea of a tool you've seen on the internet. You can go ahead and screenshot that tool. And then with that tool, this tool right here, you can go ahead and edit that screenshot as if it was a usable UI or UX. So this is really cool. So what I did here is I basically said, create me an interface for a chatbot building, platform, and create me an inbox. And so I basically used the prompts to create a UX design. And then I went ahead and used bubble.io to essentially connect the code to it. So, hey, Wendell, any questions so far that are popping up while I'm explaining this? Can't hear you, Wendell.
Oh, hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yep. So yeah, no questions. Well, actually, I got 2 comments in.
Okay.
One's from actually, no, not yet. We're gathering comments from LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram. So as soon as we gather those, we'll put them in here for Q&A.
The idea of this is like, okay, so instead of a link tree on my Instagram, I can just go ahead and just immediately talk to the business, right? Do you have a website? What questions did someone have? So I can message and immediately get my answer right away. Another cool thing is, like, let's say if you're a roofer, because I think that's what you said, some people here are maybe roofers or in real estate or things like that. What kind of businesses are y'all in? I'm curious. So I can show you how you can visually represent some of the things, because another owner business that I'm working with, so in this case here, she just wants to ask questions, right? But now what if someone wants to make an appointment? How can we create that flow? I think Gregory is the one that says, what flow are you using, right? So let me show you if I continue this conversation. So let's say I'm interested in learning more. Yes, I'm interested. Let me go ahead and say that here. Now what it's going to do is going to go into lead qualifying flow, right? So if you're considering consultation, please provide your contact information and our staff can teach you further, right? So I'm interested in a consult. And so this is like real time happening with it, right? Need some more information, provide your name, number, and specific service. So I'm going to go ahead and say, Lysander, and then, different numbers. I don't want to get all these text messages. And let's say microneedling. Now what we got here is like, we're going to go ahead and get this. Now I'm on my computer, but on my phone, it will fill up the screen here. Now I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, it's correct. So in this case here, it's saying your name, Lysander, your phone, your email, things like that, right? And when people click yes, it's correct, what they're going to automatically get is an email, right? And this email, what it is essentially going to tell you how that conversation went. Okay. So in this case here, in this case, this person's like, NS, my name is so-and-so, right? But then you can get very, very specific on the type of thing. So the bot will even say, look, I spoke to them about a special giveaway. This is a giveaway that was included. And then one of the other clients I have, Dr. Jane, he wants more of a lead generating, right? Instead of just answering questions, what if we just get straight to the point, right? So in this case here, I'll show you how I can go ahead and automate lead flow. So maybe you want someone to ask or answer certain questions first, right? Before you even qualify them. So you're building out these bots, like I said, open and closed-ended bots. There's a lot of background, by the way, Wendell. I'm hearing your thing. So when you're building out these bots, it's important to know you're making a good lead flow. So what you're seeing here is basically everything it takes to build out the flow for this specific person I'm going to show you here, right? So the idea of this is that every time people are coming in his DMs, they're usually interested in like a BBL or liposuction because he's running ads. What he's doing is he's spending, hundreds of thousands of dollars a day on essentially just running one ad. And all the ad is just a picture, and it's a guy saying, hey, you want to lose more fat? We got BBL or liposuction or whatever, right? When they click that ad, it immediately starts that conversation. And so what happens here is it will answer that question that they came in with. And then it would say, hey, if you're interested in a consult, right, you got to help us tailor this by answering 7 questions. And so what happens is people are answering what's their name, what's their phone, their email, and then we're going to go ahead and confirm that. And then what service are you into? What are you planning to do, right? And so as a business owner, what you can see here now is that, look, we got all the information we need, the age, the height, the weight, do they need financing? So I can essentially automate any type of communication for a business and even help go ahead and qualify that lead. So if a roofer says, hey, you know what, they need to make this much, or I'm only going to take on these projects, then I can tell the bot, hey, I want you to have a conversation in this style as a sales representative. This is your experience in the field, right? So when we look on how the bot's built on the back end, going back to that closed AI, you want to make sure that when you're prompting it, in this case, I'm using Google Gemini because Google Gemini can read a ton of information, right? Whereas ChatGPT, it takes a little while for it to read. But in this case here, I'm teaching the bot how to respond. You're a helpful assistant. You need to address so-and-so. They ask, how much is this? You can provide a personalized quote, and then we can go back and forth. So this is a way that you can use AI into your business today, potentially on Instagram and Facebook. And then one more thing I'm going to go ahead and show you from the data perspective is, let me show you how many contacts is this talking at once. This guy is a pretty big name surgeon out in Beverly Hills, California. The bot's been talking to around 2,400 different contacts. In from the website, they're coming in from Instagram, they're coming in from Facebook, right? We can track all those conversations at once. And anytime someone wants to talk to a human, they can click a button, or if they say something specific, it will notify his receptionist to come in and take control of that conversation. But yeah, out of all these contacts here, I can track all that data. So let me go ahead and come to here. So lifetime, this guy's been with me for a while. So inactive, these are marketers. These are people that just came in, asked a question, but they didn't continue that conversation, right? And so they were automatically deleted. These are people that verified their info for him to be able to reach out. These are people that clicked on one of the ads and then ended up actually coming in for a conversation. So I can track all this type of data. So for a business owner, I think the really big value case is to make sure someone can contact your business 24/7. So one of the things that you're going to see a lot today too, just going back to that website piece, is this here. So this is another surgeon that I work with out here. This is Colorado. I still can hear the background, by the way, Wendell. If you go ahead to their website, they just wanted this simple language model. A lot of times I get asked, like, okay, do people actually use this though? Do they ask questions? And you'll be surprised. Like, these guys are spending, $800 to $1,000 a month on SEO, which is so crazy because at the end of this, I'm going to show you a tool where you can pay $30 a month and you have literally SEO done for you with AI. Because now, I don't know if you guys know, Google came out with something called SGE. So SEO is not really important as much anymore. It's more about SGE. We'll go about that further in the end. But you can see they have their phone number, request appointment, and then I can go ahead and ask a question anytime I want. These little chatbots, people think they're so simple and people don't use them. But if you go into the back end here and I see what kind of conversations are happening, they're saying that people are asking a lot of different type of questions. Like, can I go in for Stuart for a spot on my leg? Do you guys accept this? Do you offer cellulite reduction? And you can see it's pretty consistent, right? So people do use this. And what I found out is people have questions that they want to get answered before they even contact the business, right? So maybe people are curious about your pricing or maybe a quote. Someone can come in and say, hey, my roof is this long, this wide, this is my budget. Can you do this? And then the bot can come back and say, yeah, based on this, we can you want to do a walkthrough? And we can collect that data. And now you as a business owner can contact and continue that conversation. And then lastly, because I did get a question about how can we show something visual? You definitely can. So this is Tavi MD. This is a med spa that I work with out there in Watauga. She is no longer in business. She actually kind of moved out. So she's in Ohio now. But when I did work with her here, this was really cool to see. What I did is I created a flow that can visualize. How many of you guys have a business where it's aesthetic, right? Maybe you want people to see your before and afters. Maybe you want them to see, I don't know, a product you're selling, right? So instead of sending them to a website and having them go through and searching and filtering and things like that, what if they can buy within the DMs? What if they can search directly for before and afters in the DMs? So let me show you how that works here for this business. And then from there, I'll open it for questions. So the way that this works for this owner here, she's a med spa, and she's like, okay, how can I go ahead and make it where people can see my work? So this is her, and I can go to, first let me go ahead and ask those questions. Let me show you how it's a different type of AI. So I'll say, I got in a fight, and now my face is all messed up. How can I fix it? And she does med spa, so maybe microneedling, I don't know, maybe something like that. We'll see. So I already hear about your situation. We specialize in treatments like microneedling, derma fillers, things like that. And so this is how it would work if you try to talk to her on her DMs, Facebook, Instagram, email, texting, you name it. I can connect it to any channel. And so what I'm going to do here is actually, I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can visually see her work. So I'm just going to go back into default mode. Because I went to book consultation. So now I can go and explore services. And this is the cool part. You can actually show people, your work. So what if they're in your DMs and they want to see a demo of your work, or maybe they want to see a before and after or something, right? They can go ahead and click before and after on the derma fillers. Boom. I can go ahead and see this. So what I'm doing here is I'm essentially automating the conversation and making it a more enjoyable experience for the user. So on my website here, you can see how that conversation happens, right? People can actually look through the businesses before and afters and things like that. And then I can track all that data. And so when you get that email, it's like, this user talked to me about XYZ. They asked to see before and after. Here's their information. You should call them about this, right? So the cool thing about social or AI and social media is to be able to automate your conversation, make it so no matter whatever time or where the person's at or where they're on, they can essentially contact your business and immediately get in touch with you for whatever it is you're trying to offer. And so that's something that I offer at Bot Fanatics. Basically what this is I created it by using some of those tools that you can find on GPTE, and I created this thing from scratch. So I use Bubble.io, no-code platform, then Azure to create the UX and UI design, and then just using the available APIs that are out there with Gemini, GPT, and all that. And you can create your own AI tools. Like right now, we're in like gold rush. You can literally find any tools that can create whatever it is you're trying to build. But that's essentially what I do here. Bot Fanatics, I integrate AI into businesses, and then I consult them on how to automate certain tasks. So if they want to automate things like this place called Watch Preserve I worked with, they wanted to make it where when people bought a watch on eBay, can we go ahead and make it where I don't have to manually create that order form, send that out, and then send out the product? So I use a tool called Hexomatic. And Hexomatic uses AI as well. And you can go ahead and easily offer to your clients, hey, if you want to automate a redundant task, I can go ahead and make an automation for you. And what this is it costs like $60. And then you just tell AI, hey, I'm trying to make an automation that does XYZ. It will automatically create that automation for you and then tell you what tools to use. And now here you go, you can sell that automation for thousands of dollars or whatever it may be, right? So it's really tough, I think, nowadays to not have a side hustle, which is all the AI tools that are out there, But that's essentially kind of to break down everything. I know I feel like I went on a tangent there. So
No, thank you for sharing that. And I guess, if you can, like, make sure to put your URL or a way to get in touch with you in the chat. So then that way, if anybody needs to reach out to you, then they can. Because again, navigating AI is one, well, understanding AI, learning about it, understanding the tools is one thing, but actually implementing them is another thing, right? And I think specifically when we have specific people who are in different industries, how AI is integrated is going to be different for each business, right? And it's important that we kind of also think through, okay, what are the goals, right? Some things that the people watching have to ask yourself really is, what am I trying to achieve, right? Am I trying to generate more leads? Am I trying to automate some of my processes? Am I trying to communicate and have a better communication flow of how I convey information and content? So all these things are really important in the process, right? As you're going through thinking about how to integrate AI into your business. And then the other unique thing too that I feel like is really important to think about is, from your standard, right? Some of the things you were showing us, those were in different spaces, right? We had Instagram, bots essentially being built in. We talked about also being able to build it into Facebook. We talked about creating little chat bots on the websites to have a level of engagement. We talked about, obviously, we didn't even get into the part of like how to use AI for email marketing and, tying that into it. So there's so many different ways where just what you've already built and some of the tools you mentioned can also streamline into different forms of ways that you can interact. And one thing I want to share as well is that, from a sales perspective, studies show that faster responders can win up to 50% of the sales, while in a 1-minute response time, lead can basically lead up to a 391% and more conversions. However, businesses can see a 15% increase in churn with slow lead responses, right? And an example I'll use when it comes to that is when and I guess for me as a personal example, right? So when I first started the business, a lot, we had some strategic partners and we were getting leads in, almost 5 leads a day, right? Typically through some of the marketing outreaches that we had in place and also the partnerships that we had in place. But what I was realizing is that I wasn't the only person getting a hold of those 5 leads. They were sending them to 5 other agencies, right? And in order for me to stay competitive, literally when those leads came in, I had to either pick up the phone, call them, or email them. And what I realized is that this is very time consuming, right? So imagine getting into a place where you have so many leads coming in, right? And you hire a company and they're helping you with lead generation, and you're unable to respond to all those people, right? Typically, there's a process that would have to be put into place that understands your business and the nature of it, right? So for us, what we ended up doing a few months in was that now we had SMS, text marketing, messaging going out. As soon as it came in, it went in through our platform and our workflow. Text message marketing was going out instantly. We had an email, introducing ourselves and basically, having a direct link to our calendar saying, hey, we're ready to support and help you, right? So all of these things essentially helped improve the number of people that we were getting on the calls and scheduling calls. And then the ones that we were able to get to, as soon as we picked up the phone and call, we were actually able to close at least 40% of those people instantly because we were the first people to call them and right away, right? So the goal is that a lot of times businesses are missing opportunities because we don't have a system in place, right? We don't have automation in place. And AI is making it a little bit easier to be able to automate some of those processes, even down to if you have a form on your website and somebody schedules, hey, I want to schedule a call, or they're just going onto your website to try to get some information, and a chatbot can briefly give them that information, right? So those are things that also, again, very important to think about as you're looking to grow your business, and identify what areas can AI really support you. And obviously, of course, we understand cost is a thing. So also being mindful of, not just investing in every single tool, right? Make sure you speak to an expert like Lysander, and really just making sure that you're getting pointed in the right direction, right? Now, as I promised you guys, for all those who did stay on, I'm gonna actually show you guys how to create 30 days of content within 10 minutes. And that should take us towards the end to answer any final questions that you guys may have for either one of us, to be able to help guide you and through this journey, right? So I guess I'm gonna share my screen and kind of share some my my overall strategy and some quick tools that you guys can be able to download and get access to help with creating content. Anything you want to say, Lysander, before I jump in there about anything I just said?
No, I was wait to the end. I'll show some other tools, how you can automate phone calls and how you can automate your SEO. I haven't forgot, so I did bring that up. So that's it. You're good. I'll just wait for the end day.
Awesome. All right, sounds good. So I'm gonna share my screen, guys. Let me know when you guys are able to see it, and then whoever wants to start a timer, feel free. Like I said, it's gonna be under 10 minutes. So so again, the whole purpose is really just to be able to show you guys how simple creating content can be if you use AI powered with, really understanding the nature of your business and your audience, right? So if you were part of our last session where we talked about understanding your client, your ideal client persona, this is going to be partly some of the things that we're going to build into creating these pieces of content. And then also towards the end, once we wrap up this virtual summit, I'm going to make sure to send you guys an Excel spreadsheet where you guys can actually start putting in all your content as a thank you for all of you guys taking the time to join and register for this particular event. So let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen here, and then we'll dive straight into it. So first place we want to go to is, again, a lot of you guys heard of ChatGPT, so we're gonna start there, guys. So again, some of the cool things with ChatGPT that you guys may or may not know is that you can actually customize some of the details around your ChatGPT bot. So in here, if you go to your little profile, for anybody who hasn't used ChatGPT yet, this is where you can actually go and kind of personalize your messaging and what you want ChatGPT to know about your business. So this is one area where you can kind of make sure that information that you're getting is actually really helpful, right? So in this scenario, we say, what would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses, right? So here's where you would put in, where are you based? What do you do for work? Hobbies, subjects that you want to talk about, anything that comes to mind, right? Essentially, you're basically programming ChatGPT to say, hey, this is what I want you to know about me. So as I use this tool, make sure that you're pulling this information, right? And then how would you want ChatGPT to respond? So again, this is another way for you to be able to kind of curate some of that. But again, I'm not going to get into all this detail. I'm just giving you guys a high level overview quickly, just for the sake of time, right? So through that, again, there's some other settings in here that you guys definitely feel free to go through. And if you guys want to know more about it, please, again, reach out to myself or Lysander, and we can definitely advise. So again, the purpose here is that we're going to create 30 days of social media content in less than 10 minutes, right? So first, what you're going to need is ChatGPT. If you don't have ChatGPT or don't want to use it, you can use Gemini as well. There are other platforms. They have platforms that you can use for this, right? So in this scenario, I'm going to use, obviously, we have the Hustle to Growth Summit, right? So the audience that we're going, so again, we have to prompt it and give it information. So I would want first ChatGPT to do what? Create 30 days content, short content. Content prompts. Specific to, and you guys are able to see my screen, right?
Yeah. See it.
Awesome. Yep, specific to the Hustle to Grow Summit, targeting professional business, professional service-based business owners that are looking to go from hustling, let's put it, from the day-to-day hustle.
And tell it to put it in a column format, maybe. You can categorize each section.
Mm-hmm. Also, in their business to growth strategies.
This is what I've been trying to tell people. Like right now with 4.0, AI is free. You just gotta make an account.
Yeah.
All you're doing essentially is you imagine you have a really smart friend and you can ask them anything, but now this smart friend can create you any type of content. You just give it direction now. With ChatGPT 3, we had to pre-prompt it, like saying you're a marketer with so-and-so experience. But now with 4.0, it has an idea already of what it is you're trying to accomplish. So you can just tell it what you need it to do. Is if you're using ChatGPT 4.0, I don't know if that's what you're using right now. I can't tell.
Yeah, I have the 4.0 right now.
Okay, tell it to create you an example post, a visual post. Tell it to make you an example visual post.
Yeah, we're actually going to get into that one in just a second.
All right, cool.
Just that I want to keep it simple enough that people can be able to grasp it and gain the information and then go from there.
But yeah, it's giving you a whole list of what you
so
can
literally
do.
And again, like I said, when it comes to AI, make sure to go through it, right? Everything that you do see in here isn't necessarily going to be something that you want to use, right? So in this scenario, like I see there's hashtags. Again, because I'm creating a visual Instagram story, essentially I'm not going to want hashtags in it. I just want the prompt, right? So we can even go into remove weeks and just list days and remove hashtags. So it's going to understand what I'm saying. It's going to give all the prompts. Okay, why transitioning from hustle growth mindset is crucial for a service-based business owner. Share a personal story about your journey from hustle to growth in your business. What does growth mindset look like for professional service-based business owner? So again, it's giving you all these prompts, right? These are engaging things, right? And again, you can even go as deep of saying, hey, I want this prompt to sound like this person or Barack Obama. I want it to sound like whatever it is that you want it to do or feel based off of your own brand client persona, right? Of how do you want people to identify with your business? But just for the sake of time, again, we're just gonna take this piece of content, right? We're gonna copy this, and then we're gonna go to the Excel spreadsheet, right? So the Excel spreadsheet, I'm going to share this with you guys. Let me switch my screen back over so then you guys can see what I'm doing. So let me share this screen. I should share window. All right, so we're gonna go to Excel spreadsheet and we're gonna copy and paste all the information we just got into here, right? So now we have all this content, right? Of essentially 30 days of content, of posts that you can essentially create within your business. And we're gonna save this as a CSV file. So for those who have Excel, just understand, you'll probably see, you probably save some things on a CSV. What it does, it just gives you, it converts it into comments, so then that way the information and data input that we're putting into Canva, which is what we're going to use to create the graphics, along with the post, is easy to grasp and pull that information, right?
If you don't have Microsoft 365, you can use Google Sheets.
Yep.
As well.
Yep. And the Google Sheets is free. So if you're not paying for it, 65, then yeah, great tool to use as well. So I'm just gonna say, I still grow. Let's say this HTG Summit example. All right, so we're gonna save this, hit OK, and then now we're gonna go off to, I'm gonna come back here and go to ChatGPT. We're gonna go to Canva. And again, this is recorded. So for those staying on, I will share this with you towards the end as well. So I'm going to share my screen again. Just because I want to make sure you guys are seeing what's happening. Share, and then we're going to go to Canva. So if you don't have a Canva account, you can set up a free one. Obviously, there's limited things that you can do with it. But if you have a paid one, this is a great space, right? So first thing we want to do is go to templates, right? The next thing from here is you want to pick a template that goes well with what your branding is, or has the text field sections that you want. So then you can be able to generate the content, right? So there's so many different ones. Really, the biggest thing that we'll just pick a random one to use. Typically, I would probably want to use like IG story, because I'll probably post it on a story, and then you can also post it on your wall as well. And again, this you can use on Instagram, you can use on TikTok, you can use on your Facebook story. So there's a lot of places you can use it if you choose to use this format. So in this scenario, like I said, I'm just going to pick one random one, just trying to find one that's visually good. So if you see anything, Lysander, just let me know that you think might be good.
Fiber optic. I mean, I came from telecom, so go
up. Let's do the quote one, because that's obviously typically a standard one, right? So we chose this. And again, Canva is a whole nother beast in itself. That would have to be a whole nother separate session on how to use Canva if you're trying to use it. And if that is something you're interested in, type in the word Canva. We might be able to swing in a extra session later on around that. But I do think Canva is a great platform as well. So in this scenario, right, the next thing that we need to do, once you select your template, as you can see, this is only one graphic that's here right now. Next thing we want to do is on the left panel here, you'll see something called bulk create. If you click bulk create, it's going to actually enter data manually or upload data. So now we're going to take the CSV file that we just had, and then we're going to now essentially link it. So now you see that there's a text here. It's only pulling one for right now. And then I'm going to click on the text. And then there's a little 3 dots here. Click on the 3 dots, and then you're going to connect data. So this is the first text, right, that we saw that's pulling from. So then it's going to say continue. But before I get into that, make sure you always want to resize everything the way that you want it to, based off of how you want it to be positioned. So in this scenario, we're going to do, let's do 56. And then we're going to change the font. I do have my logo branded font in here, Sensation. So we're going to change it to that. And then again, even with the backgrounds, you guys can change the color schemes to different color palettes that you want. So there's so much that you can do with all of this. But just for the sake of time, again, you're going to find the content that you want. You select it, click the 3 dots. Make sure you connect the data. I unconnected it. So let's go and reconnect it, and then hit continue. And then now you see all of the content, the 30 days of content that was basically pulled from from the Excel spreadsheet being pulled here. So now it's saying generate 29 designs. The moment you hit that, it's going to essentially create every single one. So all of the content that you essentially created just from ChatGPT, let me open this up in a bigger format. You'll actually see here, right?
So if you use a different template, you probably would have the images in the back too.
Exactly. So if you pick a different template, you'll have different images, right? You can even go as deep as, okay, now we have this, and now you want to change the background, right? The backgrounds can be changed. You can change it to, replace current page. So there's different backgrounds that you can add in, right? And then you can literally change different things around it. And again, this is all done through Canva and ChatGPT, 2 separate tools, 2 free tools that you can use. And then if you also want to essentially share it or create images or download them, you can essentially download them here, and then you can essentially use it as content. But really everything has been generated from this point. If you want to get rid of the backgrounds, there's different ways that you can do that, and just delete it, and then select your new background. You can add a new page. You can move content around. So if you didn't like this one, but then you liked how this was, literally you can just create new things from this. Change the color.
Visual case, yeah, okay. And then when you're done with that, I can show them some cool as well, where you can do that same idea, but with video.
Yep. So again, once you do that, then the next thing that I would advise, again, I'm just giving you guys steps, right? So the first thing we did, went to ChatGPT, we gave it the prompts, we gave it direction, it created the content or the copy, for instance, in that scenario. We took that copy, we copy and pasted it into Excel spreadsheet. Then from that Excel spreadsheet, then now what we would do is we went into Canva, we did a bulk batch of creation. We linked the content that's from the Excel spreadsheet, so then it pre-generates all of the copy. And then now from there, you would have obviously all of your copy all on all of these slides. And then literally all that's left for you to do is go through, resize and make sure things are centered. You can update the background of different things. You can add animation to it, to make it animated. You can basically add a time lapse. So if you wanted to make it like kind of flow in, you can. There's so many cool things you can do with it. And then essentially you have 30 pieces of content. But once you get the content, the next thing is that you want to basically download each piece of content and then now use ChatGPT to create social media content. So in this scenario, you can say, create a social media post for all the copy that was generated. You do that, and again, literally, it'll go from each one. So day one, it'll have different social media posts. And my recommendation would be to probably take each one individually and then specifically create a post and just kind of copy and paste it and ask it to create a social media post for that specific day one, right? And then as it does that, so I'm going to stop that there. So our day one post. So here it is right here. So it took day one post, and then now literally it created copy, right? And then the final step here, and I'm gonna share my Excel spreadsheet, just so at least you guys get a good understanding of like kind of the process. Would be, go back to the spreadsheet. Is we'll have a separate tab for you. Again, like I said, I'm going to share this with you guys after, and then literally you'll copy and paste, the link to each of the graphics that you created in Canva. And then as you create each and every copy on ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever other platform you want to use, you essentially paste each and every single one onto this Excel spreadsheet. And then there you go. You'll have your 30 days of content ready to go. And then you schedule it out. But really, that's basically it. It's really simple. So again, we can go a lot more technical and more advanced, but I just wanted to make sure to give you guys something that was really kind of just high level, that you guys would be able to digest and easily be able to take and say, hey, this makes sense, and actually can actually take this element of it and actually build it into my business. So I know you had something you wanted to share before we go into questions.
Yeah.
So I'll let you take it.
So taking that same idea, some of the clients I work with, they want more of a video representation, right? Some of them, they don't know how to do the editing and all that. And me personally, I don't know how to do the editing either. So, I just use the AI tools that are out there. One of my favorite tools to use is Opus. What Opus does is, if you're someone that has a ton of different videos, but you don't know how to edit them and everything like that, you can make one long video. That one long video at scale will automatically add captions, zoom ins, edits, and everything right into the shorts. So if you want to know how people are making so many shorts at scale within that one video, this is one of the tools they use. Another great tool is if you're an iPhone user. I'm not, never will be, but once this goes Android, I'm excited. However, this is a great tool too. It's called captions.ai. Now this is a freaking game changer, okay? If you want to make UGC videos for your products, you can do that. Or, which I'm personally excited about, is an AI clips generator, right? Mm-hmm. So what you could do with this is it uses the same idea with Opus, but you can add in certain different type of things in your background. And then if you're someone that has no idea, maybe you have no video whatsoever and you just want to have something great for you, then you can go ahead and do that too. Have AI generate it for you. So the difference between this and the Waymark is more so using like pictures across the web that are like stock photos and things like that, or stock videos. This is using something that's completely brand new, right? You can essentially generate like that Bean commercial you saw. You would have to describe though what it is that you're looking to do, or maybe you just post a picture and will automatically make that picture movable and generated. And if you're someone that really likes to understand the video AI that's happening, the stuff you've probably been seeing on Instagram that's been popping off, this is stuff from runaway.ai. This is where you're seeing like lions eating a cup of noodles, or, this is like the next generation. Businesses are already using this today to create insane commercials. That new commercial that came out for Toys R Us, that's all AI. That new commercial that came out for Porsche, that's all AI. And so this is how you're creating some insanely realistic videos. This is called Runaway. All you have to do is you essentially just type in what you're trying to make a video of, and you have AI can create you some insanely cool stuff. You're only limited by your imagination, essentially. Here are some other great things you can use to create content if you're more of a visual, like a video person,
No, this is great. No, thanks for sharing that as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually open it up to some people who have some questions as well, around AI, and, any specific questions around how they're using it in their business, or if you have a particular business, for instance, and you have, you want to know like what tools or AI tools might be best suited for the nature of what you do based off of, your goals for this year. Feel free to drop those questions in the chat, so then we can be able to answer them. Like I said, we're here as a resource. We understand this is a whole different field for a lot of you guys. You guys are professionals in the things that you do. And, with me being a marketing expert, I'm still tapping into a lot of this AI stuff. But, I also know that I have to rely on people like Lysander to be able to kind of help and educate and guide me on some of these things, because it's really important for where we're heading. And just like when COVID happened, there were a lot of businesses that weren't online, and they went out of business, right? Because they failed to implement some of these strategies or these tools into their business, and the ones that were able to get through that COVID phase, were the ones that took the extra leap to make sure that they had a digital presence. And AI is going to be one of those things, right? We're going through this digital age that you have to be able to adapt and not necessarily use every single aspect of AI in your business, but to some degree be able to understand that there's information, there's data, and there's knowledge that supports how these things can really improve your business, right? Because ultimately, people nowadays are looking for people that can respond quicker. They're looking for answers quicker. And if they don't get it from you, and the next person that they go to is able to give them that answer quick, they're most likely going to do business with them. So you don't want to be left on the sidelines because you're not integrating or understanding why AI is important. So yeah, feel free, guys, to drop any specific questions that you may have. And like I said, we're here to answer them. And again, thank you guys for joining. We're so happy to have you guys.
Give me another chair, man.
So while we wait for questions, one thing I'm going to talk about briefly is our upcoming events, guys. So for those of you, again, that have joined, this is your first time joining. This is our third virtual summit event that we are doing, that we just wrapped up essentially. We have 3 more left, guys. They're all free to attend. So if you've missed the last 2, just reach out to us, send us an email or comment in here that, hey, I want to get access to some of these videos or the last sessions, and we'll make sure to send you a link so that you guys can access them and be able to learn as you grow in your business. But the main thing here is that the next event that we have coming up is called the Art of Market Seduction. And this is where we're going to essentially be teaching you how to create irresistible offers that attract and convert high quality leads, right? So now that we've gone through the mindset aspect of it, right, during our first session to get you in the right mindset to receive and take in information, and then now getting into after that, getting into identifying your audience and your messaging, your persona, to now understanding how to actually curate and create content that's actually relevant to your business and tools that you can apply. This next one is really going to be taking all 3 of those things now and really being able to give you guys the resources and the tools that you need to really start attracting your ideal client, but not just anyone, but really quality leads, right? I think a lot of business owners struggle with being able to find the right people that are going to actually spend the money to pay for a service that you may offer. But we're going to give you a different approach that allows you to add value, but gives you the ability to really hone in on your ideal audience. So then you're not dealing with, people who are not going to be able to afford or understand the value of what you have to offer in your business. So those are that's the next event coming up. And then we have the other 2 before that, which is the lead nurturing Nirvana, and then the foundations of business growth. Again, if you go to our hustlegrowth.com website, you'll be able to get more information. There's a QR code here you guys can scan and be able to go there. And then just to announce, we did lock in a venue. So guys, tickets are now live for the in-person event on November 8th. So if you definitely want to be here in person for this event, it is an all-day event. We're going to have phenomenal speakers. We're going to have a Sander who's going to be here. We're going to have a CPA, that's going to be there speaking on how to basically manage your money in your business. So then you can also continue to grow and talk about very important aspects of essentially financial literacy within your business. We're going to have a business attorney who's going to be there talking about how to basically position and set up your business, whether it's an LLC, an S corp, or any type of structure that essentially can help you catapult in your business as well. And then we're going to have some other really great people as well that's going to be there. So overall, thank you guys so much. Make sure to get your tickets. We do have early bird tickets available. Once those sell out, it's just going to be general admissions. And then we do have some VIP tickets, which are also first come, first serve. So make sure to get your tickets. It will be in Dallas at the meeting place, which basically you guys, again, like I said, please feel free to come out, start getting your tickets, because I guarantee you they will sell out. So other than that, any last words from you before you jump off? And
no, pretty much it. I mean, I'm gonna really quick put in I'm just really quick present something really quick. It's not necessarily social media, but I think it's important too when it comes to creation. So this is a tool that I love to use. I mean, I also build websites and do SEO, but this tool here, great, surferseo.com, allows you to automatically generate articles, but the way that it's different from like ChatGPT, let's say you have a competitor in the area and he's like first place consistently on Google and you're like, the hell is he doing? You can tell the Surfer AI to look at your competitor and create articles based on what Google's saying that this is more trustworthy content. Because the reason why your competitor is on the first page is probably because he has really good blog posting or article postings. And when you're doing it, it's not getting the same traffic. And that's because Google has already determined that, oh, this post is more trustworthy because it has these many words. It's talking about X, Y, Z. So what this AI will do is automatically get the winning articles and create you something completely different and new, but still keeping that same idea. So Google will now say, oh shit, you came up with your own content now. Let me look at you. So this is great. It's making you content, but based on the content that your competitors are putting out and what's already ranking really high. So you're not just making random content, right? So this is one of my favorite tools to use. Surfer SEO, AI, it's great. And then, yeah, and if you don't want to do all that, then you can use Alley AI. And what Alley AI is, you pay, their monthly, and their AI basically does back end for you, the on-page SEO, everything. I'm only showing this because I see a lot of business owners that are paying way too much money, $1,000 plus for SEO and website companies. And honestly, that's dead already. You don't need a whole team to do all that anymore. All you need to do is make one really good website. And one of the things that you can make that with is with Webflow, which is also the next generation website builder. WordPress is, I mean, it's okay, but it's going to become a dinosaur compared to this thing. Webflow, you go ahead and make a website. Some of the best websites you can see online are made by Webflow. And one-time website, then boom, you go ahead and just do SEO. You pay like $60 to $70 a month, and you're good to go, instead of paying like thousands of dollars for like SEO or website companies. But that's one more thing I wanted to show there, because I see it time and time again, they're paying way too much and they're wondering why their SEO sucks. And that's because you're competing with an AI.
And then the other thing too, I'll address there when it comes to web building, again, depending on where you are in your business, one thing I always advise is that if you're a brand new business trying to, obviously we understand finance and cost is a thing, right? Not everybody's pockets are deep, and, especially not everybody wants to put all their money into their business right away, right? Because they want to see things grow. It's that in the initial stage of launching a website, you really want to make sure that you build a lead generating type website, right? And part of that, we're going to go through in the next session, next virtual session, of how to actually create your, actually it's going to be the fifth session, which is going to be how to create your marketing funnel, right? Because a lot of times we go into the business, we put the product.
I got a dip now, but it's been great. Thanks for having me, man. If you guys want to contact me, I left my contact details in chat. Hit up Wendell, he'll give you that too. But thanks a lot for your guys' time. I kind of go here.
Oh, no worries. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll catch up soon.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. So yeah, my final point really is that you want to be able to make sure that you build a lead generating type website, and that has an offer, which we're going to cover in the next session, that allows you to build and generate leads, because it's really difficult to sell or to grow a business without you having initial leads in that earlier stage of your business. And a lot of times spend so much money building out a complete website with all the bells and whistles, but in that scenario, it doesn't really formulate to you being able to generate the right traction or the right the form of business. So if you're struggling with that or trying to get leads, make sure to please contact us as well. And we'll make sure to have somebody from our team kind of evaluate and give you some more insight. And I'll put in the chat where you guys can be able to get a hold of us. But basically, it's going to be wjjbrands.com/booking. And somebody from our team essentially will be able to, join in on a call and be able to give you the tools and the resources that you need, or just insight as to what you could be doing a little bit differently to help with attracting your ideal client and audience. And again, we can answer any questions that you have there as well. So other than that, thank you guys so much for joining in. It's such a pleasure to have you guys. And we hope that you guys are able to join in for the next virtual summit. And then be able to take in more information about what we have going on that can really help catapult your business and really be able to put you guys in the best position to continue to grow your business. And then before I leave, I want to leave this quote with you guys. Unleash the power of AI to transform your social media strategies, creating unparalleled engagement and growth. Embrace innovation, harness cutting edge tools, and take bold steps towards the future where your business thrives like never before. So again, thank you guys so much. And we hope to see you guys in the next one, and take care.